Okay, come in. Have a seat on the carpet, please. Hand up if you know what type of note that is.
Ticka ticka.
Ticka ticka. So everybody do ticka ticka. Ready? 1, 2. Here we go. Ticka ticka, ticka ticka, ticka ticka, ticka ticka. Take out your recorders. We're going to do a check. There are 3 notes we need to know for this. B, A, and G. I want you to go through and play B, A, and G. You decide the order. You decide how you want to use ta, TT, and ticka ticka. So remember the word that we use to describe what we're doing?
We're gonna improvise.
We're going to improvise. Ready? Go. I started with a clapping activity for the students to try and engage them in thinking about things they've learned before. So the fact of a ta as a quarter note, TT as 2/8 notes, ticka ticka as 16th notes. Ticka ticka is very new for them, so it's something new that they have to experience. So it's a kinesthetic way of being able to be introduced to the rhythm. Then when we went through B, A, and G on the recorder, it was to get their minds on what they're learning about and just to also practice that whole process of going through. And that allowed me just to go around the room to see which students were having difficulty making sounds on those, and also to just remind them about how to blow through the instruments, how to cover the holes, and just review a lot of things that they already know. The main focus of the lesson is to introduce the students to the creative process. Does anyone know where we're at right now in the creative process?
At the part where we get feedback and from our peers and teacher and reflection.
Okay, so we're going to put the feedback part in the center. Do you want to come and put that up here for us? The big creative process chart that is beautiful with all of its elements on it is a lot of information to take in all at once. By taking it apart and allowing my kids to put the pieces up as we go along, it brings their focus to that one piece over and over and over again. The kids love it, and they actually look forward to being the next person to be able to put, we're generating ideas, so I'm going to put that one up today. I'm going to hand out a sheet of paper that has some spots. I want you just to do the first 2 bars. What are the goals? We're going to use B, A, G, D, and E. Those are our choices. And we can use ta, TT, ticka ticka. So you think about what rhythms do you want to have, and then underneath what notes you think those that will go with those rhythms. I found the template works really well for them because it's something that they can understand. We're talking letters and we're talking sticks. And the sticks mean rhythms, and the rhythms they understand, and the letters they understand as being notes. Okay, find a spot in the room, and you are working independently. If you need help, please raise your hands and I'll come to you. You're welcome. So what I gave the students was a template to help focus their thinking so that they're working on the bars that I want them to do. On the back of the page is like a checklist for them of all the things that we're going to be doing right now with this particular unit. So they always know what's coming up ahead. So if they're a student that can work ahead, they'll start working ahead, or at least they'll know what's coming up next. Good job. And so you've already transcribed those over here. Okay, and you've decided on what they forgot something that they can add in, or if they have a question, like, can I play a drum? Comes up so often. I would like you to find a partner, somebody who is beside you, an elbow partner, or someone that you can work with. And I'd like you to share your 2 bars that you've done so far with them, and they will share with you. Sometimes when you start doing something really creative and it's very personal to the students, they get a little bit testy when you try and say, well, maybe you should try it this way. They don't like that so much. So working with a partner before having them actually write their own music is very useful, because then they don't mind if someone else says, maybe you should play an A there instead of a G. They don't care to hear that. It's like, yeah, maybe, but I don't have to take that. I can decide to keep it the way I want to. There's no wrong answers. There's no wrong places at all.
When I get feedback, I consider kind of my opinion and his opinion.
So, for example, if he said it wasn't really that good, and I think it was good, I'd go with my opinion since it's my composition. But if he said it was good and maybe you can add an extra note here to make it look better, you should try it and then see how it sounds like, if you like it or not.
What I'd like you to do right now is I would like you to see if you and your partner can figure out a way to combine what they've done and what you've done together.
In your song,
There are a lot of elements that are played on. Rhythm is really big. And in some cases, when you have students that are working beyond the scope of what the learning goals are, you're working with harmony. Because depending on what knowledge the students bring too, you might have to become even more, like you're gonna use more elements as you walk through. But yours is very complex, right? Because you're using ticka ticka and titi. I wonder what it would sound like if you played it at the exact same time as two parts, rather than trying to attach them together to make just one. Do you want to give it a try? Okay, so let's go back to here and let's play just the first bar together. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Good job. So you might want to think about how you might be able to put them together if it's something really complex and something really simple. One of the things I would like to give you to work with today in your groups is a xylophone or a glockenspiel. So let's move to those spots and start working, please. Okay, let's move you guys over this way then. Come on over here. Melissa, okay. So, Laksha, what are you using the bourdain for? What are you using this for? For the beat, okay. During the time when the students are working on their individual compositions with their small groups, this is normally my time to be able to walk around and see what they're doing, to be able to kind of assess where they need help. It's a chance for them to ask me questions in case they have something that they want to change or fix, or something if it doesn't work properly for them. So I will walk around with my own instrument, play for them, or just kind of walk through and have them play for me. The other thing I do is I keep a tracking sheet that kind of helps me to make sure that I know if they're meeting what the expectation is, or if they're exceeding it, like they're actually going beyond it, or if they're having some difficulties, which means that they're in the developing stages, and I can see where those spots are. The next step right now is once they are done their melodies, we're going to stop and they're going to perform for each other. This is the feedback stage in our creative process. Give them one positive thing that you would like to say if you would like to give them feedback, and then we'll give them one thing they can work on. So who would like to go first? So go ahead and share with us what you've done. Good job. So, boys and girls, feedback. One thing that they did well.
they really made it fluent and smooth, and they didn't. Their notes weren't squeaky, and the melody was really smooth, and they were able to go along with it, and it sounded really good at the same time.
They had a very nice beat.
As teachers, we often will tell students to be quiet and not say something. Just wait, just hold it. Without them understanding that really what you're doing is you're saying your feedback is important, but you need to do it when it's feedback time. So by allowing us to talk in this creative process, you're putting the feedback part of it as an okay thing to do.
Like, I think that they should, like, be, like, the same kind of noise, like their sound. Melvin was playing a little too soft, and Amrit was playing a little too loud.
Okay, I think what I'm hearing from people for feedback is that your balance is just a little bit off, and it might just be because when you were doing your beats weren't in sync with each other again, which isn't a problem. You know, you can practice those out, right? So once this start to come together so that you're both playing at the exact same time on the same beat, it's going to make its way out. So that's good. So what we've basically done is what part of the creative process?
We finished presenting, performing, and sharing.
Presenting, performing, and sharing. Can you put it up on our creative process chart for us, please? And what I'd like you to do right now, boys and girls, is you're going to need to put away all of the instruments. And I'd like you to come back and sit in a circle in the middle with me. There's one more circle left in our creative process. What is that circle? What's left to do? Andy?
It's reflecting and evaluating.
Reflecting and evaluating. Can you go over and put it over on our chart for us, please? I want you to think about what you've done so far, and I want you to think about evaluating what you've done.
I would ask myself, using the feedback that was given by my peers and my teacher, how can I help? How can this help my composition to be better and improve?
What can me and my peer do to make my composition better? Like, since, for example, if we both have different, mindsets. Like, I like low sounds, and my peer likes high sounds. How we can use both and put it into one composition.
Before we go today, one of the things that we need to do is make sure that I understand where you are in your thinking about this composition. So on your sheets that you have here, you can place a green happy face for me, or you can place an orange happy face for me. There's an orange sticker and there's a green sticker. And at the end of doing a process of creating something, before they walk out the door, it's if you understand what we've done here and you think everything is good, put a green sticker at the top. That'll tell me that you understand it. If you think there's something you want to go over with me, or you want me to look it over, or you want to talk to me about it more, or maybe you don't understand something, put an orange sticker on top. And then the next time when you come back in the class, I'll know who needs to have my attention first and who is good to go and ready to continue on. This would kind of be the end of the first lesson for the recorder unit. It allows them to kind of go away now because they've had feedback from a partner. They've gone through the process of doing things by themselves. They've been able to share with someone else. So it allows them now to go from this off to do their own thing. And then when they would come back to me next week, we would start off basically at this point where, remember what you did last week. This is, we're now going to extend that to the next step.